I think this is a great opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we gave you kind of an intro to combat. This time we're going to really go a lot more of a deep dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is part of our deluxe edition.
Ah, alors.
All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark
Ah ouais,
Arts
c'est dark.
Battle Arena
Au niveau combat, c'est dark.
which is part of the deluxe and digital deluxe edition. I love the way that the Dark Arts Battle Arena is
c'est
actually
ultra dark.
part of the world. It's integrated into the world, so your experience is more immersive than just choosing an option from the main menu of the game or something like that.
Oh, j'adore.
Exactly.
L'ambiance est
There are
folle.
many reasons to go to the Forbidden Forest, but he's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set, and here he's pulling out the Thestral.
Oh là là.
Part of that Dark Arts pack from the deluxe and digital deluxe.
Ah
edition.
ouais, mais
So
ça
we're
c'est
going
moi
full
Serpentard à
Dark
fond,
Arts
mec.
here.
That's good. That's what I like doing.
But I like this this battle arena. It is a great place to show
Waouh.
off really combat in a big way because it unlocks some.
C'est le jeu Harry Potter ultime en vrai. Enfin Harry Potter. L'univers Potterhead. Ah excellent.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice? And
Yeah, so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally, and so everyone has access to those. And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through.
Ah j'aime bien les vagues, j'aime bien.
Earn a different
Oh,
cosmetic.
t'imagines si le prochain Fable ressemble à ça carrément? Oh là là. J'attends tellement du prochain Fable aussi. Ouais, de ouf. Ça serait incroyable. Bah, en vrai, Fable pourrait ressembler à ça. Foncièrement parlant, l'univers se prête totalement à ce qu'on voit là. Tu vois? Il y a toujours eu un espèce de... Tu peux avouer ce que je veux dire avec Fable? Bien sûr. Il ne montre pas. On peut pas voir tous les sorts du coup.
When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you
Ouais.
have access to all those things as kind of like a way to test them all. And so it's a chance to kind of like tour and play with the Dark Arts.
C'est pervers de nous mettre ça sur l'écran parce qu'on a envie de savoir. On veut savoir.
But yeah, everyone has the same ability to explore the Dark Arts.
C'est vraiment incroyable en vrai.
Great place for us to show off combat in general. So I think we're gonna jump in here. Andrew's gonna start battling.
Ah, AVADA, ça va être sympa aussi. Ouais. Alors, voyons voir. Oh, le AVADA KEDAVRA incroyable.
We're starting off strong.
Was that Kujio? Oh my god, that's so cool.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away, like when we use AVADA KEDAVRA.
Mais c'est un grand oui.
Instant to 0, and we really are trying to honor the way AVADA KEDAVRA works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. You'll notice that like the meter takes up a lot longer.
Incroyable.
To kind of build up as a way to kind of deal with its extreme power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to adjust that. But I don't know.
Ah mais de toute façon c'est Serpentard directement pour nous, vous le savez, hein, évidemment. C'est direct.
Sign. Well, it's like, so in the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called in the game.
Je pense qu'il doit y avoir un cooldown pour AVADA KEDAVRA parce que ça doit one-shot tous les ennemis, ouais. Tu vois, ça one-shot tout de suite. Je pense que doit y avoir des ennemis qui font des parades ou quelque chose parce que regarde. Oh là là.
You start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout.
Là, ça me plaît vachement les combats. C'est cool de les voir évoluer un peu par rapport au précédent gameplay. Puis là, il se bat bien en plus. Hein.
But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful ancient magic spell to do a ton of damage against the character. I see. And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways.
Franchement, c'est vraiment dingue.
That kind of bubble up under the player as
bon, par contre, par contre, j'émets un doute sur l'aspect Ubisoftisation d'Assassin's Creed 1 en mode les ennemis attendent pendant que t'en tapes un. J'ai l'impression qu'il n'y a pas de, les ennemis viennent pas vers toi en même temps pendant que tu tapes un autre. Enfin, pas vraiment en tout cas.
And that's actually a
Tu
good
vois,
link to
ils t'attaquent pas tous en même temps.
in general. And the reason why I say
C'est
that
assez
is
étrange.
as you're doing different things in combat, you're protegoing and you're doing different
Tu vois,
abilities
regarde.
and you can kind of spectate with your
T'as
character.
l'impression
There's
que...
different ways to get that meter to build faster and faster.
Tu vois, ils attendent un peu. Ça,
Most
c'était le côté
effective
Assassin's
ways
Creed
to build
1,
up that
tu vois,
meter
genre,
fast.
t'en tapais
That way
un,
you
les
can
autres
once
te
get
regardaient pendant ce temps-là. C'est assez étonnant.
is to actually perform combos. So you see
Là,
that
j'ai mis un
combo
doute
there.
par rapport à ça
It's
quand même.
almost like your emotions are building up, and then basically that builds up enough that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone and a piece of their magic kind of falls out of them.
Mais j'aime beaucoup le...
in the game world. And there's something that only you
J'aime
can
beaucoup
see
la fluidité des combats et l'ambiance des combats. Vraiment. C'est vraiment très agréable.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie
Voilà.
knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so
En tout cas, le mec joue
the
super
tools
bien,
are
hein.
really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you grow in the room of requirement to
Cool.
combat to essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the tools that you'll see here are like the rock skin potion. So that is something
J'adore
that
les vagues
basically
comme ça en
covers
plus.
your skin, and it's
Non,
like
ça a
rock
pas l'air
material
brouillon, les
that,
combats ont pas l'air brouillon du tout.
reduces the incoming damage that you're receiving.
Est-ce qu'il peut lui
So
faire
big enemies,
un AVADA
like
KEDAVRA là,
trolls,
au troll? J'ai pas
that's
l'impression.
super helpful.
Si, il peut, non?
Um,
Ah si. Mais regarde ça.
The troll just collapsed from whatever the kid.
Attends, parce que du coup, ça veut dire que les ennemis du jeu, genre les big boss, tu peux leur foutre des AVADA KEDAVRA dans la tronche et c'est fini?
which
Okay,
increases your
so-
health. And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks about having to balance AVADA KEDAVRA with a long cooldown. because
Ah,
of the
voilà,
resistance
un
to
long
heal,
temps de latence.
one thing that you could do
Merci,
is brew
c'est
a
ça que je voulais
focus
savoir.
potion, and that will
Voilà.
increase, how quickly
Merci.
your cooldowns.
Et par contre, tu peux boire une potion pour que le AVADA KEDAVRA revienne plus vite. D'accord. D'accord, je comprends mieux. Je comprends mieux. C'est ça. D'accord. Mais quand même, tu vois, c'est quand même fou.
Yes, and so that's like when we're talking about the.
Ça serait trop simple sinon.
almost The setup of the arena. You also have plants that you can fight with.
Je
So we
kiffe,
have things
je
like the
kiffe.
venomous
Merci, Rick, pour ton
spectacular
resub.
You can put down and it acts like a turret and it just kind of shoots enemies around the
Ah, pour moi, c'est un gros oui. Hein.
That is so cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuffian way.
Ah ouais.
The battle. Yes.
No, that was super important to us. So there were these like multiple ways, and so you can see there's a ton of different things you can use. The mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry.
C'est même plus qu'un gros oui, c'est.
In a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique way. I don't want to get stuck in my style, you know.
Ouais, c'est un peu comme attendre l'ulti, tu vois.
This is a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use certain plants or certain potions or block more or.
Yeah, we mentioned
Eh,
the field guide
en vrai,
challenges,
il n'y a aucune concession sur la violence et ça fait du
and the
bien.
field guide challenges, this is the way that the field guide manifests, like,
Honnêtement, ça fait vraiment du bien. Tu sens que le jeu est
And
dark.
Exactly to your point. We just wanted a way to encourage players to explore the different systems, to help them decide, to just kind of practice with them and explore what they want to do, because there really are so many different ways that you can push talents. When you see the green X's on characters,
Right.
and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like links the fates of these different characters on the battlefield. That way, as you get the
À mon avis, tu vas pas AVADA KEDAVRA en Gryffondor, non. C'est pour ça, de toute façon, moi, que de toute façon, je prends Serpentard. Mais à mon avis, en Gryffondor, c'est compliqué. Je pense qu'il y a moyen. Il doit y avoir moyen que tu joues Gryffondor et que tu l'utilises. Mais voilà. Puisqu'il y a des choix apparemment dans les. Il y a des choix dans le scénario. La maison détermine pas les choix dans le jeu, ouais. Donc je pense qu'il y a moyen que tu puisses le faire quand même.
More powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep on the fly.
Non, à l'époque, c'était pas des sorts interdits. À l'époque, les sorts étaient pas interdits. Mais un sort de mort n'est jamais bien vu. Tu vois ?
style works best. I mean, I feel like
Donc, bien sûr.
dark arts is going to be the easiest route, but
You're
that
our
ancient
audience.
magic, to be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of plants and potions, we're going to be putting the dark
Ah,
arts away,
voilà.
put those unforgivable
Aw.
curses away.